Hey people, it's Steel Gamer here with a RPCS3 is now officially a joke final statement video. I'm going to be covering a couple serious issues because normally, I will point out people's behavior and things like that and they don't like it and some people leave comments. But the people on the RPCS3 forum just don't know when to fucking quit. Now, unlike most of the internet, these people think because they're superior to everybody and they've come up with an emulator and they think they're all this smarts and everything else that they can just fucking do whatever the hell that they want, treat people the way they want, and nobody's allowed to say anything. And if they do, they come over posting subtle threats. Shit like that. They were posting threats on my fucking channel trying to get me to stop making videos or exposing their behavior. Well, unlike most people on the internet, they made the mistake of fucking with me. They don't get to say anything to me at all over here where I can control it. They lost all rights to say anything to me. They have no right to their opinion or anything else, and I don't care what they have to fucking say. They lost that fucking privilege when they decided to fuck with me and then bar me from their site or forum or whatever. So, because they behave a certain way and I pointed it out, I got them coming over here posting subtle threat comments like, I get your IP address, I'll kill you, you motherfucker. Those are just troll comments, but with these people like saying, look up Navy SEALs. I don't give a fuck who you're connected to. You can come down and beat my ass. I'm going to make videos about you because I am not going to be bullied into submission by assholes that think they're superior to people who think they can just fucking treat people any way they want without any type of ramifications. And for those of you that have watched my swatting video on, my take on swatting, obviously don't go swat people. I don't do that. I just retaliate with this. And it seems like the more videos I make, the more pissed off they get. Well, here's the fucking thing. I didn't start this fucking problem. I simply went over to a forum. I had something happen to me, got me treated this way in certain things, and it's not poor me, don't get me wrong, but they decided to fuck with me and throw me out. And then when I made a video, they acted really surprised. Wait, you can't fucking do that. So, to the RPCS3 forum, fuck off. You don't get to say anything to me here. You lost all privileges and all rights to say anything over here where I can control it. If you want to have a fucking party about me, go right ahead, do it on your forum, make a blog. Butcher this video, I don't give a fuck, but you're not going to do it on this channel. And be advised that I'm not one of these people who's going to stop making videos. If I find another video about me because you did that, I'll make a video off of you and I will fucking you. The more you fuck with me, the more irritating I am going to become. I will become so fucking irritating, you will not want anything to do with me. That's what you're doing. So if you think you can come over here and post subtle comments and that's going to disbar me, you're sadly mistaken. It's not going to happen, and that's it. So all I did was I exposed your behavior. If you don't like it, maybe you should think twice before you start treating people the way you do, because unlike most people, and where I can control this on my channel, on the channel here that I have, I am holding you accountable for your actions, meaning you are not going to get to come in here, write comments, or do anything. I've shut the comment section down, and you're not going to be able to say anything to any of these videos. And if you come on any of my other videos trying to do this, well, fuck off. I'm not crying. You guys don't get to come over here and say anything to me. At all. You don't. You don't have a right to say anything to me. You lost that privilege. If you guys had all this interest in saying this to me, you never should have thrown me out of your fucking channel. But it's funny how you guys are the one coming over here picking a fight because you can't handle me pointing out your behavior. Doesn't matter what it's you guys are just fucking retarded. You guys are acting retarded and I pointed it out. Coming over here posting threats to me, Google Navy SEALs. Really? You're sitting there telling me not to cry, but you guys are the ones posting threats on the comment section of my video. Really? Really? But I'm the troll. Here's the thing. You guys, I don't get bullied into submission. You can come down and beat my ass and I'm still going to fucking make videos. You don't understand. I'm not one of these people who rolls over and takes this no matter what happens. So, here's the thing. You don't want to be exposed. As I said, don't want to be called the douchebag. Stop acting like one. I don't feel bad for you guys. And, I'll leave it at this. You guys got a good thing going over there. Keep it there. You want to have a fucking talk about me? Go do it on your own fucking channel. But you're not going to do it here. And I got no problem saying that to people. So this is one of the main reasons why people like my channel, is because I don't have any problems telling you guys to go fuck yourselves. You want to act like assholes, you're going to get treated like one. But you don't get to fucking act that way and then try to bully me into submission by saying you have no business saying anything, and try to act like you're the fucking hitmen for the mafia coming over threatening witnesses so they don't talk in court. No. So here you are, you're telling me. Now, just so you know, all you're doing is exposing your own behavior, because I'm calling you guys assholes and douchebags, and you guys are the ones leaving childish comments under here. I'm just calling it like it is. The only thing I've done here is I've exposed your behavior to people, and you guys can't handle it. So, why are you acting like fucking 3-year-olds? You're like, you can't stop the internet, man-child. What are you, fucking 3? So, all right, case in point to the viewers that are in tune with this or are going to watch this later. If you take a look at the structure of his comments, I didn't start anything. They're coming over here acting like I went over there and started a fucking problem. So this is one thing I do. I don't give a shit. The internet has a backwards mentality. They act the way, they bully people over in places, and then when somebody says something, they come over and they fucking act like they're the ones that started it. All I did was I went over the forum and asked questions on how to do stuff, and you guys are acting all superior and threw me off of the fucking forum. Do you think I'm not going to make a video about that? No, because you guys don't know. You guys made the mistake of fucking with me. I exposed all of this shit in people's behavior. So to come over here and act like I'm the one that went in over there and started shit, what are you, fucking retarded? This is why I record everything. So you can say anything you want, but I'm eventually just gonna fucking stop you. I'm gonna block you from this comment. I'm gonna remove your comment, and you're not gonna be able to fucking post anything in this live chat. So you can either take your attitude elsewhere, or you can sit and listen to me, talk to you the way you are because you're acting that way. So, if you don't want me talking to you like that, stop acting like that. Okay? See, like, you guys can't even accept the fact that you fucked up. Grow up, grow some fucking balls, and take responsibility for your actions. You guys are just as fucking bad as game developers. They pull the shit and then they act like they didn't do anything wrong, despite the evidence is there. So, I'm just going to remove all your comments from here, and you're not going to be able to put another fucking comment in here. So, fuck off. So, I just wanted to get this out, and I just put them in timeout. And again, just to make people aware, you have to do something severe to basically get barred from my channel, because I always basically, I always tell people, I always let people have a freedom of speech. But when it comes to this particular situation, no, they want to throw me out. They don't have any business saying anything to me anymore. Period. It's fair as fair. So they come over and, they pulled that shit, which is fine. I made a video about it, and then they come over acting like I just went over there and started shit. Fuck off. That's not going to happen. So, if you guys don't want something said, behave, and then people won't do this. But you got a good thing going over there, whatever it is, go fix it. But you might want to fucking learn how to post instructions, because you guys may claim you're intelligent, but none of you know how to fucking write instructions for anything properly, and you also don't know how to fucking manage your forums. If you guys want to apologize to me, fine. I'll put up an apology video, but I'm not going to do it because I didn't do anything wrong. So, that's really all there is to it. So, like I said, I'm more than willing to help out, but you can't be fucking doing this to people. But that's all there is to it. So, for now, the Steel Gamer signing off. Have a good day or night wherever you guys are. And to the you guys don't get to come over here and say anything to me. Yeah. It is a joke. Because nobody over there knows how to explain anything. And I'm starting to wonder if the fucking thing even works. I'm going to challenge you guys. I'm going to challenge this. Nobody wants to explain how to get a game to launch through there. And instead of anybody actually explaining it and growing up and being mature as you claim you guys are, how come none of you is fucking... How come you're taking all of this time? No, I don't want it to be explained. Don't humor me. Not if I... No, I don't... No. You guys don't get to fucking come over here and post instructions. You do that on your own site. If you start doing it, I'm going to fucking bar you from this channel. Well, I can't bar you, but I'll time you out. Or I'll just go in and shut the settings off in this. Nobody will be able to type in the chat. You guys don't get to come over here after you throw me out and then start trying to redeem yourselves. That's not how this works. And this video is basically for people who, okay, and? What's your point? What are you throwing a fit because I'm not letting you guys, I'm not rolling over for you guys? There's nothing you can say to me that's going to affect me. You guys probably don't know this about me, but I'm a professional magician. There's nothing you can say to me that's ever going to offend me. I don't get offended by anything anybody says. But if you're going to act that way and then come over here and post these comments like that, who's triggered? You guys are the ones that came over here. You guys are here posting retarded comments, not the other way around. And it seems like my videos pissed you guys off because all I did was I explained the way you guys were acting. All I did was I relayed how you guys were acting and everybody over there. So, what's the problem? You guys want to act a certain way? You want to act 3 years old? Fine. But don't bitch about it when somebody points it out and then come over and act like it's my fucking fault. So yeah, you guys don't get to fucking say anything to me over here. You lost that privilege when you guys threw me out of the fucking forum. I can control it here. If you want to have a fucking topic about me, go right ahead. Go on the forum. Fucking have a debate. Make a blog. I don't give a fuck. But you're not going to do it here. You lost all rights to even have an opinion over here. So, and what's really interesting is you guys full well know everything that I explained is a fact. You can't even, that's not even deniable. And here's the interesting part. All of the fucking energy you guys came over here expending all your energy over here, trash talking me, posting subtle threats. I better look up Navy SEALs, by the way, that was a good one. Instead of going over there and constructively fixing your fucking broken site and organizing the forum better and providing actual instructions and correcting shit that's not even right on your compatibility listing and cleaning up your forum, you decide to come over here and do that. But yet you guys claim you're that intelligent. So if you guys want to behave that way, that's fine. But you did it to me, and that's not a good idea because I will become more fucking annoying than you will actually won't even want me fucking contacting you. As soon as you fucking see my name, you'll block it. I will become that annoying. You have no idea. So, like I said, subtle threats coming over here, it's not going to bother me. Well, okay, so basically, you have a RTX 1080, right? Let me guess. You have an RTX 1080? Because what's really interesting is when I was over there, somebody was talking about how their computer was so shitty that it almost caught on fire and it smelled like burnt fucking plastic. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, and what your comment to me about that is the equivalency of trying, as somebody telling somebody else that their computer sucks because they use Gmail. You don't even make any sense with your argument. If nobody's interested in maintaining them, then remove them. Why are they even there if you guys don't want to do anything about it? See, this is the point that I'm making. You guys don't even know how to manage your fucking forums. You're over here wasting all of this time and expending all this energy telling me I'm expending energy instead of going to fix the fucking site. First of all, word your sentences as they make sense. Use proper English, because I don't know what the fuck you just said. Okay, well now you're basically saying you don't have the time to do it. Stop making the fucking program. If you don't have time to manage the program, or you don't want to manage the program, don't have the program. This is like a fucking owner of a business opening up a business, not knowing how to run it, and then complaining his business isn't running right. Don't fucking open the business if you can't handle it. You seriously just say that? Like, come on. But you guys are claiming you're so intelligent. Or you're smarter than everybody else. Really? Really? All you do when you come here is that you're not making fun of me. All I'm doing is I'm relaying your behavior. So you're not calling me fucking stupid. You're basically calling yourself dumb, because all I'm doing is pointing out what you're doing. That's the only thing I've done. I don't know why you guys are over here fucking coming in here acting like I'm the one that went over there and fucking started through a temper tantrum. No, I just let people know if you fucking are unfamiliar with, since you're clearly not familiar with my channel and you probably don't give a shit about it, all I do is I expose what people do. So that way people are educated and know enough if they want to fucking deal with you assholes. That's what it comes down to. Now, see, case in point, you're a retard because I never said my PC can't run it, and nor did I say it can't run. So I don't know what you're even fucking trying to relay, because that's not even what. Where did you even get the idea that I said this thing can't even run? Where did you get that from? I never said it couldn't run. I never said my PC couldn't run it, nor did I ever say it couldn't run. So what do you even posting that shit for? That doesn't even make any fucking sense. You're just making shit up and then trying to fucking argue with it. What are you, stupid? Hey, Lemire, or whatever the fuck your name is, let me just clear something up right now. I don't give a fuck if something's free or not. You make a program, you explain how to use it. You don't want to explain how to use it, then keep it in-house and don't let it go. I don't give a fuck if it's open source or not. You don't that excuse of, well, it doesn't work like that or it's free, can fuck off with that. You don't create an obligation to a community or a service to people and then hide behind, well, it's free, I don't have to do anything. If you fucking create it, yeah, you do have to do it. It's an underlying unwritten rule. That's how this works. All right, well, what did you mean? You should know better by now when you're talking to me to clarify exactly what you're talking about so it can't be misconstrued. Risen is fucking horrible. Risen's just trying to fucking mark themselves up to become competitive with fucking Intel because they're too idiotic. The only thing AMD was even originally good for and made for was television, you fucking jackass. So don't try to act like AMD is all superior because it was never made for a computer. It was originally made for HD TV, you asshole. So don't even get into these tech fucking conversations with me. I'm not one of these fucking people that just rolled in off of the street. And how do you... No, what open source means, let me correct you on that, because what open source means is it means the source is not licensed, which means anybody can take it and change it and do whatever they want with it and then sell it. Open source does not mean it isn't developed by any one person. Open source means it's open for anybody to use it however they wish. Get your terminology straight. Linux is open source. But every party that develops something in Linux takes it and makes it their own and then licenses it to sell it because that's what open source allows you to do. Oh, I agree to that. There's no argument there. Windows 10 is fucking horrible. The only reason I was forced to use it is because of the motherboard I have in here. Otherwise, I wouldn't be using it. I am completely in agreement with you on that. What, are you surprised? No, because I don't feel like dealing with fucking Ubuntu. Or whatever other operating system is for Linux nowadays. Because I don't feel like having to deal with assholes like you guys who refuse to explain anything when a question is asked. That's why. I'll be right back. I don't want your help. You guys don't get to come over here and try to help me after you threw me out of the forum. Fuck off. It's not going to happen. So, yeah. And I actually didn't ask for your help over here, so coming over and forcing it over here and then acting like I turned it down because you're a jackass makes you a fucking retard. This movie is fucking horrible. What the fuck am I watching? Oh my god, this is terrible. Possession of Hannah Grace? Who the fuck wrote this shit? So, for a bunch of people who act all superior and intelligent because they came up with an emulator, you guys certainly are some of the stupidest fucks I've ever run into on the internet. So, a suggestion is, if you don't want to be talked to a certain way, don't act that way. And then don't try to fucking come over and act like somebody that's talking to you that way did it for no fucking reason. You'll find very quickly with me, I don't allow people to talk me in circles. You do something, I point it out. You don't like it, fuck off. I'm not going to let you come over and fucking try this shit and say, oh, look at this. By the way, the fucking comment section for this is getting deleted, so post away because you're not going to get a second chance at it. And I'll just tell you right now, you guys are fucking, the brilliance is booming on this. I bet you guys were the fucking type of people that, despite being late for class, you beat up the hall monitor because he didn't give you a pass and did his fucking job. I bet you some of you were the hall monitors. Usually people who bully people and try to bully people into submission were fucking abused as kids. Now that they're grown up, they have to fucking flex their muscles. That's why cops become cops most of the time. It's because they get bullied in school and now they want fucking power. So they're on power trips. That's what you guys remind me of, a bunch of fucking cops that couldn't handle fucking being, having stuff done to you in school, so you fucking decided to go on a power trip. Get a laid? That doesn't even make any sense. For a bunch of people, again, For claiming you guys are so smart and acting better than everybody, your grammar is fucking horrible. Get a girlfriend, nerd? Well, actually, if you look up on my profile, you'll see my... If you actually look up in some of my videos, you'll see my wife and my daughter in them. So, yeah, that's really intelligent. Yeah, that just shut you up, didn't it? This is interesting because I was actually going to just end this. And by the way, whoever's writing comments about, oh, this is too long, nobody's going to watch this, learn what a fucking stream is. It's not a video that I'm informing people out. Why you? How does somebody sound like a virgin? That doesn't even make any sense. That's like, which community interaction? That's a pretty vague statement. You really don't understand my YouTube channel, do you? You should go back and watch what my YouTube channel is about. You'll find it in several of my videos. Why I talk to people the way I do. If you don't want to do that, that's fine, but whatever. Why you sound angry? How does somebody fucking sound so angry? I just want to point out here to my viewers. Now, they're all, if you read all the shit that they're saying, you'll notice that I didn't recreate a different account or use Tor or, change my IP to go fucking back in the forum to swear at them. No, they fucking kicked me out. I made a video and left it alone. They followed me over here. Just keep that in mind. And to this day, Grim Dawn still has no elemental damage in it. I've already proven that, despite what they fucking say. Stop crying, man-child. How about directing that in an actual comment to somebody and specify who you're talking to? Are you really this fucking dumb? In the comments, in the words of what you guys say over there, I'll use that here. You have to be trolling. Nobody can be this stupid. Those comments sound familiar? Well, now I'm applying your own comments to yourself. Nobody can be this fucking stupid. By the way, I've had 3 and 4-year-olds in my shows act more mature than you guys do. Not that has anything to do with anything, but I just figured I'd let you know that. You guys just wish I could be on your friends list. Because everybody should have a friend like me. You know you want to be friends with me, that's why you're here. You can't resist coming over here and listening to me because you enjoy it so much. Alright, you weren't in the forum at the time it happened, so, case in point, you seem to claim to know an awful lot for somebody who wasn't even around, so how do you know what I was banned for? And who are you to call it a petty reason? I'm just curious to where you get information that you don't have, not having been there, and then trying to portray it as that you actually know. Not that that's a big deal. It's not really a big deal. It's irrelevant, the reasons. The bottom line here is you guys were fucking douchebags over there. The things are fucking... It's a joke. Because that's the way you guys are acting over there. And then what do you expect? You act surprised when somebody basically calls you out and says exactly how you're acting. Well, I didn't come over here making comments on my videos. I left it alone. The videos are a direct reply to you guys coming over here and posting comments. And now here you are acting like, well, just get over it. Stop coming over here posting comments. You don't want to get called a retard, don't act like one. No, you saw what somebody edited and what they wanted me to see on Discord. So, anyway, it's hearsay. You have no... Let's say, hypothetically, it was true. Okay. Prove it. Since you want to bring it up and you want to say it, prove it. Good. Prove it right now. I saw what you did in Discord. Okay? Prove it. And that doesn't even mean anything. What does that even fucking mean? I saw what you did in Discord. What the fuck does that mean? And that's pretty interesting because considering some of the conversations were done through PM. I mean, I can keep making you look like a jackass if you really want. So the question here is, if you don't like me this much, why are you even here? Oh, now it's wah, 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 wah. So that's what I did in Discord, wah, 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 wah. I said that? I guess apparently I said that in Discord. Well, why don't you just take the show on the road? See, if you guys think you bother me, you don't. Like I said, I have worse people on my shows. I'm producing misinformation? What information did I miss? What information? Go back through any of my videos that I said about this and disprove what I said. You're going to say that what I said in the videos is false? You're going to tell me that RAP file is explained? You're going to say the RAP file is explained to what it is, why you have it? Really? You guys, are you going to tell me that that's explained on the site on where to get it from? You're going to say the site actually says that? So, because if you're saying me saying that is misinforming people, that's an actual fact. I mean, you can sit and try to troll this all you want. I'll just fucking I'll fucking humor you. I don't care. It's easy to say something, but the problem with me is you can't prove anything you're saying because there's nothing to disprove. You can't disprove anything I'm saying because everything I'm saying is a fact. You can go back and look up. Anybody can take anything that's in my videos and go compare it to what's on that website, and it's straight up verbatim, hand in hand. So to say I'm doing misinformation is not true. That's a lie. If I'm giving misinformation, it's because what's on that site is misinformed. Oh, no. That might be on there now, but it wasn't when I made the video, so don't even give me that horseshit. Now, just because you probably didn't listen to the video when it's too far in, let me explain something to you about the Quick Start Guide. Okay, Mr. Informative. The Quick Start Guide has Linux listed at the top of it, which means if you tell somebody to go look at the Quick Start Guide, you're telling them to go look at the Quick Start Guide for Linux, not Windows. So if somebody does not have Linux, they're not going to read the Quick Start Guide. So, that's one thing that's broken with your site. Or, not your site, over there. Do not write an operating system at the very top and then the rest of the information underneath it and then try to act like somebody didn't read the guide that has Windows because you guys put Linux up there first. What does that even fucking mean? All I explained to you was I corrected what you did because you clearly don't know what AMD was for. I just corrected you. And then you're trying to act like Ryzen's superior to Intel. It's not. I use whatever's superior to the other. Intel's superior to fucking AMD. Base fact. Alright, now you're just trolling. So, yeah, Limeray, whatever the fuck your name is. Nobody's going to read... People that have Windows are not going to read the Quick Start Guide simply because Quick Start Guide has Linux listed at the top. If you put Linux at the top and then the guide is all set, and then you put other shit underneath the guide, guess what? You've basically said the entire guide is geared toward Linux. That's the structure of how it's set up. So, if you want people to if the Quick Start Guide has information in it that's pertinent, then make sure people are going to read the guide and not put it up half-assed. If you want me to, you guys issue me an apology, I'll go over there and I'll clean your site up so it's much easier to understand. Everybody can find anything. I got no qualms with doing that because I rewrite technical manuals for people. I do it all the time. I'm not going to go reread it. I don't give a shit what's on the site now. I get thrown off of there, so I don't give a fuck what's over there. And until, as I stated, until the instructions are given properly and not some douchebag set up half-assed system, I'm going to continue saying the RPCS3 can't launch games. You guys can say whatever it is that you want, but I can take videos and show they aren't launched. So, you guys can sit there and say it'll launch, but I'll have a video showing it can't be launched at all. That's the difference between what you guys are talking about and what I show. So, I personally really don't have anything to say about this anymore, unless you guys want to keep going. Then it was taken down. See, I know they watched this video. I know they watched the videos. So, trying to say that there's nothing about Linux after they edited the stuff... Nope, not going to check it. You guys, I'm not even reading anything. I don't even bother with anything that any of you say to go read. You guys lost that fucking privilege when you fucking threw me off of the forum. You can't then decide to say go back and read it and then try to debate with it. I know they watched these videos. I know they did because you guys linked them. There's too many fucking views for it. People not over there to be watching it. So, what they've done is if you're saying it's on there now, that means they edit it to try to make me look like a liar. I wasn't banned for piracy. Alright, now, if you really want to get into the whole fucking piracy issue, you guys should fucking stop putting RAP files up there or explaining RAP files. You can't launch the game without it. And the only way to get it is to fucking pirate it. So, don't even get into this. Don't even get into the fucking sites all holier than thou. Oh, we don't want any piracy. While clearly you guys understand how piracy and that works and obviously know enough what somebody's talking about to pirate it, which means you have to have done it. And if you really want to fucking get on this, the only way you can fucking transfer 360 games ripped is if you have fucking modified systems. So don't even come at me with the whole pirate issue when you guys are doing illegal shit on that site to begin with. So please, fuck off. Yeah, don't even come at me with that. Talk about fucking piracy. All I did was I linked to a site I had no idea, but that to not put up the entire topic, no. Omit it and say, hey, you're not allowed to put this link, and then post the rest of it. So, you can't transfer them to a PC unless it's modified, you fucking retard. Dude, don't even try to say you can transfer a PS3 game. Because the ones that are on that site, they're not all Blu-ray, so nice try on the excuse on that one. I didn't say you shared illegal stuff, you fucktard. You people are fucking retarded. This is why nobody talks to you guys. This is why you guys don't have a fucking clue to what the hell you're even talking about, why your site's so disorganized. You can't even understand simple context. And all my viewers are going to see is that I am right because you guys are in here using incorrect terms, taking shit that somebody said, that, and then you're trying to say shit that nobody said. What link? You can't post links in here. Yeah, I told the moderator I'm not listening to him. Yep, keep making excuses, buddy. You can keep thinking that. You can't transfer games from the fucking PlayStation or the Xbox 360 unless you have a modified system. Base fact, everybody knows it. So, therefore, trying to talk to me about piracy while you guys are doing it is fucking retarded. You guys are like really brilliant here. You can sit and try to fucking argue with us all you want, but everybody that understands and has modified systems knows you can't do this. So you're sitting there talking to other people about pirating while you guys are fucking doing illegal shit. You have to have a modified system, you fucking reject. The brilliance is booming. You guys can't even admit you fucking are doing something illegal by fucking transferring your PC game, the fucking 360 game, the PlayStation 3 games to your fucking PC. You have to have a modified system to do that. Trying to argue otherwise makes you a fucking retard. You're sitting there trying to bitch and moan about, point out piracy for me, while you guys are using modified systems to transfer your fucking PS3 games to your PC. And then you're trying to say, well, the guide lets you do this. Bullshit, it does. You can't fucking take a you can't take a fucking PS3 game into your PC and rip it out like that. You just can't. You have to transfer your games to other stuff. And by the way, if you guys are really going to keep going on this fucking tangent, I will just pull up the US.gov laws that show ROMs are illegal. Doesn't matter whether you buy the game. As soon as you put it in that format, you've ROMmed the game, therefore it's illegal. So therefore, if you really want to go down this route, I could just start pulling up the U.S. Supreme Court, the Department of Justice, and the U.S. federal government guidelines on having a ROM and ripping games. It's illegal. So if you guys are going to come at that, let's go all the way with this. Okay, so now we have people in here who think they understand the law, and they're saying that the federal government is wrong. Okay, why are you even trying to argue this? Okay, you're trolling, obviously, because I just said the U.S. federal.gov guidelines set by the U.S. Supreme Court, the Electronics Act, the Digital Signature Act, and a bunch of other things all dictate ripping a game is illegal because it's a ROM. ROMs are illegal. And now you're saying that they're wrong and you're right. A ROM is not a piece of music, and that's not even allowed either. I can pull up the laws and show you're not allowed to do that anymore. Next thing you know, you're going to be saying that jailbreaking electronics is still legal. I can pull up the laws saying I'm right. The laws say I'm right. I'm telling you what the law says. You're not telling me I'm wrong. You're basically saying that the federal government's wrong and you guys are right. Well, the federal laws state that you can't do that. Federal laws state you're not allowed to rip your games. You're not allowed to copy your electronics, and you're not allowed to jailbreak. It's all been made illegal. Go look it up. I told you where it was. I'm not going to do your fucking work for you. Next thing you know, you guys are going to be saying torrents are illegal. All right, here we go. Well, nothing's happened, so clearly it's not illegal. Really? Okay. I agree that the U.S. systems are all fucked up. But to sit there and fucking argue with somebody telling them that the laws are wrong is fucked up, dude. Yes, the U.S. has very fucked up laws. I'm in agreement with you on that. I don't care. All information that I have talked about since I was thrown out of there, I don't bother with. Why would you even ask me a fucking question like that? How retarded are you people? Seriously. He can't click on anything because there's no links available. Why are you so concerned with my PC? So what if I had a fucking potato? Why do you care? This isn't a copyright law. Just to let you know, this is not a copyright law that we're talking about. It falls under the same law as why you can't jailbreak electronics anymore. I suggest you guys go read up on the actual GeoHots case, which you guys probably have no idea what the fuck that is. Go look that up. Before you even fucking go on any further, just go look that up before you fucking continue arguing with me. It's just funny to watch people actually act like they know what they're talking about because they're hanging out with a bunch of fucking idiots who think they know what they're talking about, who've been blindsided so long and brainwashed by these assholes that they can't even admit they're wrong, and then they can't be wrong about being wrong. The GeoHots case was about modifying the PS3. Period. So it's not completely separate. ROMs are not legal in the US. Can't do them anymore. You can't jailbreak electronics, and you can't transfer any fucking games to a PC unless you have a modified system. So please, fuck off. Trying to say you can put it in a DVD player or anything else doesn't even matter. As soon as you rip the fucking game, you've now made it illegal because you're bypassing the fucking protection and the license rights on it. And if you're ripping the fucking RAP file out of it, guess what? Let me just clear this up for you guys. When you download a game from any place that a game developer does not put it, you have pirated the game. It doesn't even matter if you buy it. If you buy a game and then crack it, it's still illegal. Can't hide behind, well, I bought it. As soon as you fucking put a crack in it, it's illegal. As soon as you rip a game out and start fucking with the license file, you have now made it illegal because it doesn't matter whether you bought the game. The game developer doesn't say it's okay to be running it on a fucking emulator. It must be run on the hardware. Try reading the terms of service and the license rights to these things, which you guys don't read. So, if you guys are going to go on this whole holier-than-thou kick about what's legal, what isn't, you know what you're talking about, we're going to go all the fucking way because that's how this thing works. Trying to say you rip the game so it's still legitimate, it doesn't fucking matter. You're not supposed to be running the game on an emulator. And you're not even running the game on an emulator. You're running a copy of it, which isn't even the game itself anymore. Okay. Then it's impossible to launch the game without one. So now you just admitted that you're launching the game without a license. Now you're doing it illegally. I mean, you just fucking admitted that you're doing it illegally because you need the license to fucking run the game. So downloading a PC game is not illegal if you don't have the key for it and you crack it? I guess apparently that's legal too, right? Doesn't matter. Go read the license right. It says it's not supposed to be being run on anything except the PS3 hardware. The fact that you guys are even running it on an emulator automatically makes it illegal. So, don't even come at me with that. You guys are doing illegal... That site's doing illegal things, and then trying to claim they don't want, piracy's a big thing. You guys are doing just as many illegal things with the fucking way you're running the games and ripping them. Federal government says you're not supposed to be ripping them. You're not supposed to be running the game except anything on a piece of hardware, and the license right actually says this. So before you even try to fucking argue, to say that's wrong is basically saying Sony's license rights that are in there, you're saying is wrong. Sony's license right, if you read them, specifically says you're not allowed to run this game except on the hardware we say it on. Sony did not say you can run it on an emulator. So, if Sony didn't put it out and you're running it on emulators, you're all doing something illegal. So please, don't even get into this fucking, well, you're buying for piracy. Well, you guys are sitting there doing just as many illegal things. Not just ripping them, but fucking how you're playing them, and then on top of that, transferring them. So please, fuck off. The emulator is not illegal. Running the game on the emulator is a violation of the license right. The license right for the game says you can't run it except on what we tell you we can run it on. Oh, here we fucking go. You rip a game, if you rip a game, it's now illegal. You've done an illegal act. You run a game on an emulator that you've ripped, it's also now an illegal act. So you can fucking sit and argue with this all you want. Sony's license rights in the games dictate this. So now what you're saying by saying it's wrong is saying that Sony's license right don't even matter. It's not a TOS. It's a license right. Fucking retards. You guys don't even know the difference between you guys are sitting there trying to fucking dictate laws when you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. You're not even talking about the same things. What the fuck does a privately backed up game have to do with you violating the license right to way Sony says you're not allowed to play this game on anything except the actual hardware it's played on? How fucking retarded are you guys? Like, seriously, to the rest of my viewers, this is the retardedness level of why I said the people over on the RPCS3 forum are fucking idiots. They don't even know their own arguments. They can't even keep the laws straight. They're trying to use a TOS against a fucking license right. And then they're basically ignoring the fact that Sony's license right for these games specifically say you can't play this on anything except for what we tell you to play it on. So they think because they ripped it and they're playing it on an emulator, that it's legal. Wrong. It violates the license right to how you actually have to play the game. It's the same way as when a game distributor distributes a game. I buy a game, and then I go get a torrent of it. It's illegal because the torrent is not a valid place that the game distributor says we distribute the game. You can only get it from sources that the game distributor gets in order for it to be legal. Well, it's interesting here because I'm not even reading the chats at this point, and at this point, I'm probably just going to, shut this off. But the fact of the matter is, the license right itself in the game says you're not allowed to play it on an emulator. And they're arguing that. They're literally arguing against the license right that Sony has in the game. So instead of going to read the license right where it actually says this, because I've actually read them, they're going to continue acting like they know what they're fucking talking about because Sony's wrong and they're right. And I guess that this one still has a hard-on for my computer. They somehow, well, your computer's this and this and this and this. Okay? Lazy Geek Gamer, your computer sucks because you use Gmail. So, I'm just letting these people talk. We're not going in circles. I've already said my piece. You guys came over here. I only made this originally to fucking tell you guys that you're not even a fucking... You have no rights to say anything over here. You lost that when you fucking threw me out of the forum. No, I didn't. I never said that at all. Now you're just making shit up. You don't even know what the fuck I said. You're just making shit up and fucking pointing it out. If I said that, point out where I said that. Point out, type the video title in, and then point the exact timestamp out when I said this. So, instead of acknowledging the fact that your fucking that section on the forum is old and it shouldn't be up there, you're basically trying to use the excuse while you're looking on a 2-year-old forum. That has nothing to fucking do with you guys left the fucking forum up there and it shouldn't be in the condition it's in if you're going to say it's that old. No, that's not what I said. What I said was, I Googled it, Google indexed the site, and I went there. I never said Google indexed that. Nice try, though. And your computer, your IPC, sucks because you use Gmail. Okay, if there's nothing wrong with keeping old posts in the forum, why do you keep referencing, while you're looking on a 2-year-old forum, as if it doesn't matter? Here's something. The site over there is fucked up. You guys, it's not run right. It's got a lot of incorrect information on it because as you claim that that it's old, which means it's obsolete. So if it's obsolete, nobody's using it anymore, remove it. That has no reason to be staying up there. I never said you said that the forum was old. That is Trignite. That has nothing to do with it doesn't belong being up there. It has no business being left up there. Yeah, actually, I do know how to run a forum, and I don't have half the fucking problems you guys have. Excuses don't mean anything. It doesn't belong in the forum. That doesn't change the fact that the old shit doesn't belong in the forum. That doesn't belong up there. Remove it. There is no issue with the RPCS3 here. I don't know. They came over and fucking started doing it. I just made a statement saying, if you guys are going to throw me out of the fucking forum, you don't get to come over here and start dictating what I don't have no right to say anything. You don't update people's comments. You get information correct and then you post it fucking once. You remove all old shit because it has no business being on there. Okay, but the settings he's using are obsolete. That's why it doesn't belong up there. Those settings don't even exist in the emulator anymore. So, again, instead of removing it, you guys are just making excuses to why you're leaving it there. It doesn't belong there. It has no place there. It needs to be deleted because it's out of date. Oh, you like that word, huh? You like when I called you guys a clown? Wow. The intelligence level is booming in this. It really is. But the problem is there is no old emulator downloads. So you just ran yourself in circles. No, they're not. No, they're not. They're fucking useless. They contain zero information. And now you're just trolling. Well, they're hidden from public view, and only you elite few get access to those links, so it's not really relevant that it's there. It's not accessible to the public and everybody else. I did ask for settings on Discord. Nobody bothered to fucking answer me. Instead, you guys just said fucking directed me to things that were totally fucking stupid. I have it on video. Everything that happened, just so you guys know, every single thing from start to finish, from that website to when I was on Discord, I have on video. And I have it on video specifically because when you guys come in here and say something did or didn't happen or I'm lying, I have proof backing up saying that that's not true. So if you guys want to continue doing this, that's on you. Fine. I have video evidence of everything I did from start to finish on there. So don't even go at that. And no, I'm not going to post it for you guys to do this, and I really don't give a shit whether you believe me or not. It doesn't... I don't... Thinks I was banned because of a pirated link. No, I was warned because of a pirated link. What got me banned was when I told the administrator I'm done talking to him and I'm going to ignore him and everybody else because your behavior is out of control. That is what got me banned, not posting a fucking pirated link, you red jackass. You can fucking argue with me all you want. You can troll. Like I said earlier in this video, you want to troll? I'll troll. I'll sit there and fucking troll all with you all night. If you guys are going to act like assholes, I'm just going to keep calling you assholes. I mean, it's not that big of a fucking deal to me. Half of you are just being fucking retarded in here anyway. I left you guys alone. You guys started something, I fucking finished it, and then you guys came over here and kept it going, so I made another video. And then you guys are in here acting like I'm the fucking one that just walked over there and started for no fucking reason at all. Yep, we are past the 1 hour mark. I was originally going to end this until fucking people came in and wanted to debate. I'll debate. I'll debate with you till you're fucking blue in the face. It's not going to change anything that you guys did, and you guys are still going to be jackasses. You guys are still going to be treating people like this, and you guys are still going to be fuckwads. Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. The excuse level is unreal. So now because you're trying to... Now you're reaching. You're trying to find something. I was warned for breaking a rule. I was warned. Wasn't banned because I posted a fucking link. I was banned because I told the fucking people in there, you guys are acting like children and I have nothing to say to you. No, I went over there asking for something that happened, for information, and you guys decided to be jackasses. Well, you guys are reaching. Like I said, I have everything on video, so you guys can sit and say whatever it is that you want. What are you fucking talking about? I point blank told people I was banned and why. You guys are actually keep saying I'm banned because I fucking posted a link that broke the rule. It's not what I get banned for. What I get banned for was telling the administrator I'm going to ignore him. You guys have no intention of helping anybody anywhere. Why do you guys even have that forum up? Why do you guys even have a forum? You guys never help anybody, and you treat people like shit. And then when somebody points it out, you have to come over here. Oh, you started it by coming over in the forum. Don't advertise your forum. You guys started it by having the forum up. If you want to go that fucking, you want to play that childish game. If you guys were actually helping people instead of being douchebags, none of these videos would be made. What does that have to do with the forum? I don't give a shit about this. Did you guys post the instructions on how to get a game to launch? Because I know you didn't. Therefore, the RPCS3 doesn't launch games. And until you guys post the instructions, or until the site posts the exact instructions from start to finish, including everything we need, doesn't. Well, I can make a video. I can load it up right now and show you it won't launch. So, whatever. So, you say it launches. I can load up a video showing it doesn't launch. So now what's going to happen? You're going to say it launches? And I can tell you the reason it doesn't launch is because you guys didn't put the instructions up. That sentence doesn't even make any sense. Show it RPCS3 does post games. What does that fucking even mean? What does that statement even mean? That doesn't even make any sense. Then use periods and commas and proper grammar, and if it's 2 sentences, use capitalizations. Jesus, you're retarded. What the fuck does RPCS3 does post games even mean? And show what? What are you even fucking talking about, dude? So this, to my viewers, as you can see in the chat, which I'm letting go, you can clearly see how retarded these people really are. They can't even structurize arguments. They can't even keep their story straight, and they're obviously doing stuff you full well know I've already proven doesn't work. Show the desktop of what? What are you talking about? Oh, I'll do it, but I'm not doing it in the stream. It'll be a separate video that nobody's going to have any comments to say to it. And your computer sucks because you use Gmail. By the way, he's is He''s, not he's. He is. That's what he is getting at. Learn your grammar. This isn't a Nike commercial. Because I'm not going to humor you guys. Because you guys lost all dictation when I got thrown out of there. You don't get to come over and tell me what to do. I do what I do, and you'll deal with when I feel like doing it. So deal with it. I'm putting it in a separate video just to piss you off. That's why. And because I can. And it's the channel I'm running. You want to fucking launch it in a site? Go fucking do a channel and start it up and launch it in a site. I'm not stopping you. Because they're unrelated to the video. The video is about you guys being a jackass. And all you guys are doing is putting up instructions that have nothing to do with it. It doesn't belong there. It's unrelated to the video. It gets deleted. That's how the channel I run works. trying to hide behind, well, you just don't like debates, has no relevance. The comments you guys are posting are unrelated to the video. The video is about how much of a jackass you guys are in the way you guys treat people. It's not about, hey, how do you get this to run? It's not a fucking asking for help topic. It's not a asking for help video. It's me telling people that you guys are jackasses, and if you're going to go there, watch out for your attitude. So anyway, no, that's not what this is, Orange, at all. This is called, if you make a program, you're responsible for explaining all parts of it. This isn't fucking school, and it's not a college thesis paper. People need to stop fucking posting these programs and then hiding behind, well, it's free, we do it in our spare time, while at the same time creating an obligation to the fucking community that they're creating this for. I don't give a fuck if it's free or not. You post a fucking program for everybody you use, you explain all steps on how to use it. So, what you just said, Lazy Geek, is that you're telling me to stop posting the stuff you guys are doing and saying. So, okay, if you want me to stop doing it, then stop doing it, because the only thing I'm doing is I'm relaying information that you guys have said. I'm not making anything up and posting it. Everything I'm saying is coming from you guys, and now you guys are saying it's all wrong. You guys can't even fucking keep your story straight. Okay, then I suggest you guys change your information, because the only thing I've done is explain what you guys do. Everything I've said has come from you guys, so if that's fake, you might want to change it. No, this has Orange. Let me clarify something. There is a fine line between being a douchebag with instructions and properly explaining how to do something with all the steps present. There's a fine line between that. Now, I just want to be clear about something, Orange. And yeah, I did put the prick in timeout because he doesn't know when to shut his mouth. So, for those of viewers wondering why I did this, because I never put people in timeout. But when it comes to anybody that's trying to defend the actions and the douchebag attitudes of the people over on the RPCS3 forum and whatever's written, that's already been well and done with, because they fucking decided to throw me off of the forum. So now, if I'm not going to let them say shit, period. That's what it is. So that's why it's not that I'm censoring them. I'm censoring them because they threw me out of the fucking forum, so they don't get to come over here and tell me what I can and can't say anymore. They lost that right when they fucking threw me off of the forum. So, fuck him. He can be in turn timeout either. Hey, you guys came over here into the chat, and you guys are the ones posting shit on my on the underneath the videos I'm putting up. So why are you acting like I'm the one that's throwing a hissy fit when you guys are in here fucking lying your ass off and then basically blaming me for spreading false information? All I've done is shown how you guys are behaving over there. And anything I've said has, all the information I have relayed in this has come from that site. So now you're telling me that I'm saying wrong information. You aren't telling me it's wrong. What you basically said is your own information is incorrect. No, there aren't. Find me one video tutorial. This is your challenge. Find me one video tutorial that has an RAP file listed in it anywhere. When you can find me a video that does that, which you will not, trying to say there's a bunch of tutorial videos that how to set everything up is a lie. Because how to set everything up includes the RAP files, which is not listed. Nowhere are the instructions on where the RAP file even came from to begin with. So don't say it shows how to set everything up when it's missing RAP information. And that's one of many things I can list. So please, fuck off with this it explains shit when I've pointed out several things that aren't even listed. Thank you. So anyway, Orange, let me go back to what you're saying. As I said, detailed instructions are one thing. But to completely omit pieces of information such as the RAP file is ridiculous. See, because if you take... I'm assuming you're still in here, Orange. If you take a look at everything I just explained and then look at this asshole's reply, notice how nowhere, even after I've pointed it out at least 16 times, where are people getting the RAP files to begin with? Where is that file even coming from? Nobody has any explanation for it. Unless you explain how to get the RAP files even in existence, then it's not fully explained and information is missing. It's not relevant if you tell somebody or what people are saying from what they're saying. They're saying, well, the Quick Start Guide, by the way, which was listed as Linux, mind you, has something about an RAP file, but nowhere on the site does it explain how to actually create the RAP file itself. Nobody explains where it came from. So every single person in here who's now trying to say everything is explained just now realize that they're completely missed in. See, now you're completely ignoring the issue. This isn't about what method you can use. This is about me calling you guys out on bullshit you're spouting, trying to say every single thing's explained, but yet I've pointed out several things that are missing. So, as I stated, there are different formats for these games. There's PKG files, and then there's the actual games. If you have a PKG file, you need the RAP file. Nowhere, anywhere, in any of the, because the PKG files come from the PlayStation Store, and they come from other illegal uses. But also, I have a PKG extractor and a PKG creator. So if I went over there on the forum and said, hey, I can take a game and turn it into a PKG file, or I have a PKG file, these assholes would instantly say that's a violation of the terms of service. That goes to show you how fucking disorganized this forum is. Now, everybody in here can argue with me about anything they want, but the past 4 things that I've just explained, they full well know I'm right on. Now, once again, Sleepy, this has nothing to do with the method used. This has to do with people blatantly fucking lying about the Quick Start Guide explaining things that it actually doesn't have in there. No, you guys don't explain anything properly. There's nothing for anybody to listen to because you guys don't explain anything right. Now, Orange, I'm going to bring up, since you seem to be the only sensible one in here, I'm going to bring up another point. Okay? Now, bringing back to the topic that I created, that I got warned for that he didn't post. He says, no linking stuff to pirated stuff. Well, let me clear something up because everybody was bitching about, well, if you make a backup copy of a game, it's legitimate. Well, a link to a site is not really relevant, because if anybody has a backup to the game and they only download the game they have a backup for that comes from a PKG file, that's the same thing as ripping a game. It's no different. So the point here is that they're contradicting themselves by actually doing illegal things. Not to mention, I don't know if you were in here, but running a game on an emulator after you've ripped it violates the license right of the game. And yet they're in that site, that's one of the things I brought up. That site is supposed to be talking about being legitimate, but yet if you read the license rights for any of the games that Sony put out, you're not supposed to be running it except on the actual hardware itself that they designed the game on. Period. Now, people could say, well, I ripped the game, or this. None of that's relevant. The license in the game itself says the game can only be played and run the way we tell you to. This is the same exact way and the same exact in the same exact situation as where a PC game developer distributes a PC game and then you go and buy it, but then you go and torrent the game even though you bought it. That's illegal. It's copyright infringement, because to make it legal, you can only get it from the places the game developer actually distributes it to. Since the game developer did not distribute it in a torrent, that makes it illegal, even though you purchased it. These people on this site and the people in here have no concept to what the hell they're even talking about. They're trying to get around how things actually work by making excuses and then using those excuses in places it doesn't belong. Yeah, but my point is that they warned me not to put up illegal stuff, or like a link, which is fine. At that time, I didn't realize that that link was actually illegal. I thought that was just part of the system because I'm not familiar with the PS3 crowd. I'm not familiar with it. I don't know. I can tell you torrents illegal, and I wouldn't link that. But I had no clue that that was like that. So, yeah, that's the point that I'm making. So, when somebody asks me what's not explained, I says it doesn't explain how to generate the RAP file, nor does it mention the RAP file is even needed to launch the game. It's not even listed in the site. Now, if the RAP file is needed in order to launch the game, why isn't that mentioned? Because if you go read the Quick Start Guide, you'll see that is not mentioned. It doesn't even say that an RAP file is even needed. It doesn't say an RAP file is required to launch a game in this manner, or if you have a very specific format. So the fact that the people here are trying to say everything's explained is false, because it's not. I just proved it's not. And they're sitting there telling me I don't know what I'm talking about, but yet they can't even get their license right straight. That's the point I'm making. So the thing here is that you can't apply a terms of service to a license right. They're not the same thing. So unless the site wants to explain all of the steps that lead up to launching a game from PKG format, which it does not, because number one, I had to find out an RAP file was required to launch a game in that state, which I didn't know because it's not listed. And number two, it never says exactly where that file is generated from. So when you have people ripping games, again, I have a program. I got to find the name of it. Give me a minute. There's a program out there that unpacks PKG files and packs them back up. So I can take an actual PS3 game and convert it to a PKG file. I can also take a PKG file and extract all the files from it. Now, when you do that, it's missing the RAP file, which is partly the reason why I couldn't get the game to launch, because I was not even aware that that file was needed to launch those games in that condition. So, the fact of the matter is, and everybody listening to me now full well knows, the Quick Start Guide does not explain how to launch a game. It doesn't. It explains very specific things, but it's missing information that unless you have, you're not going to be able to launch the game. Period. So guys can argue with me about that all you want. But if you go read the Quick Start Guide, you will not find the information anywhere in it that I just said. On top of that, you will not find any video that says they're going to show you how to launch games or put games into the system on an RAP file. No, you have to use the official firmware. So now you're saying a custom firmware. No, the firmware comes from Sony.com. It updates the emulator by putting all the PC, I can't remember the file, PPU or something like that. Okay, Sleepy. Show me how to generate an RAP file. What do you do to gain... Where does that file come from? Explain to me how you create an RAP file. Stop talking that shit about, well, it's simple. I'm asking, where is the information that shows how to generate an RAP file that you need for PKG format? Extracting a game from with the emulator that puts it that's in PKG format won't launch, period. You can sit and argue that point all you want. It won't launch unless you have the RAP file with it. So it doesn't matter whether the system, and in the Quick Start Guide it says, for PKG, do this. It doesn't matter whether it says that. You need the RAP file, which the Quick Start Guide does not tell you how to generate. Unless it tells you how to generate, putting PKG file format in the Quick Start Guide is fucking useless because the game can't launch. You can sit and beat around that bush all you want. No, you read what's been edited. Since I made that video, those pricks edited what was in there. Because if you're reading shit that's in there, it doesn't even say an RAP file is needed. You're misreading that. Go read that again because it doesn't say that. I don't need to go to the Quick Start Guide for that. I have it memorized. Well, not all of it, but for the most part, I have these particular aspects memorized. So, you're trying to argue invalid points that you have no basis to argue on. Number one, it doesn't say that the RAP file is needed. Number two, it doesn't say how to generate it. And both are needed to launch PKG format. Period. You can argue that point all you want. So it's irrelevant that the Quick Start Guide says how to get a PKG file in there. It's not even relevant. It doesn't tell you that an RAP file is needed for that, or what format it's in, for that matter, nor does it tell you how to generate that file to begin with. So you can sit there and fucking argue this point all you want, but you need to fill in those blanks if you want me to continue talking to you, because I'm done talking to you about this. You're just trying to make up excuses to get around what I'm talking about. People said the guide's complete. I said it's not, and I just proved it's not. Now you're just trying to make excuses to get around what I said. Well, that's not needed. This isn't about what's needed. This is about the damn guide's not complete, and you guys said it is, and I just proved it's not. Now you're using old, outdated shit. That's not relevant. Now, on top of that, it doesn't say the Quick Start Guide needs a Wayback Machine. Now you're just making shit up to try to get around what I'm saying. The Quick Start Guide's incomplete. I've proved it isn't. And now you guys are just trying to make excuses to get around that. Open the Quick Start Guide and show me where it says how to generate an RAP file. That's the first step. Second step is show me that it says an RAP file is needed. That's the second step. And the third step is show me where it says what format the RAP file is needed. You need to prove those. Explain those three things. Those three things are not in the Quick Start Guide. You know they're not. Therefore, the Quick Start Guide's not complete. It's missing 3 sections out of just the RAP section. So, if I'm wrong, you're saying that the Quick Start Guide tells you how to generate an RAP file, what format it's needed for, and where and it's even needed. So if I'm wrong, you're saying the Quick Start Guide has those 3 steps in it. Stop talking in circles. We're talking about the Quick Start Guide. The Quick Start Guide is missing at least 3 pieces of information. It's not complete. Except it doesn't tell you that in the Quick Start Guide. I don't give a shit where that is. Where did you pull that information out of your ass? That's not listed. That's quite interesting that you pulled that out. Because why? Here's the thing. Why is all this information you're giving it to me now? And why isn't this information inside the damn guide? You can't even put logic to that, dude. You guys are sitting there arguing, telling me I'm wrong. I have proven that the guide isn't even complete. After you guys said it was complete. Not the Quick Start Guide. No, he's not. Now you're lying. You're lying. The Quick Start Guide consists of 2 sections. That's all it consists of. It may have multiple sections to those parts, but it'll only consist of 2 sections. A Linux section and a Windows section. I have checked it. You guys threw me off on the forum, so I don't need to check it anymore. It's partially why I made the video. It's a mess, and you guys, it needs to be fixed. And besides, you can't use information that you already have to try to justify this. The guide is crap, and it's not written right, period. Say it is all you want, it's not going to change the fact that it's a fucking mess. It's missing information. I've proven it's missing information, and you guys are just reaching for reaching because you guys can't handle the fact that I'm right and you're wrong on this. I write instructions for people. That's what I do. The problem with you people is the same problem I run into with everybody. They're so used to doing it that they can't even fucking realize that information that they think isn't important is needed. And then you just fucking argue. And you do what you're doing now. So, again, to my viewers, they'll just keep posting up excuses. Notice how they still haven't answered any of the 3 questions I've asked. And then they're lying about where it came from. No, because the instructions are listed as Linux. When you guys change that to say to not put Linux on there, Linux should not be in the section with Windows. It has to have its own section. Combining Linux with shit that's in Windows is fucking retarded. That's a mess. That's one of the problems with the guide. I could sit and rip this guide apart and tell you everything that's wrong with it. I can take that entire thing and have it rewritten in about 10 minutes and have it much simplified than the way you guys have that the way it's a mess. I shouldn't say you guys. I don't know who the fuck's running it, but they don't know how to fucking write anything. I write instructions for people. I take apart complex. I have gotten paid to take apart manuals that are so fucking technical it would make your head spin. I've rewritten manuals for people on air snort and air crack. You guys don't even know what the fuck that is. So I have helped people get their website straightened out for when people go there by reorganizing it and put it in manners that they fucking couldn't even see. They have the same mentality you guys do. Now he's just adding stuff and adding stuff and adding stuff and adding stuff after he's searching for it. It's good that you're searching for stuff, or you're talking to somebody in Discord who created the damn thing who's feeding you this information. Nope, you guys lost that fucking privilege when you... If they want to issue me a public apology and mean it, that's fine. then I'll do it. But until that happens, they're not getting a fucking thing out of me. That statement doesn't even make any sense. It's your face this whole time. It doesn't even fucking make any sense. You guys need to get a few things straight. Number one, you need to get some etiquette. You need to get better etiquette on treating people properly. Secondly, you need to stop going into fucking denial. Third, you need to stop arguing with the fucking U.S. Supreme Court and the U.S. Department of Justice and Sony. And finally, you guys need to learn how to run a website better. You guys need to learn how to run it. It's got to be better organized. And shit that's on there doesn't belong on there. You guys can sit and say it does all you want. That fucking site's a mess. I know this because I used to run websites. Not that that makes me big or I'm egotistical or that makes me anybody special. No, the RPCS3 would benefit from people who have proper etiquette and understand how to treat people and stop being jackasses to everybody and organize their shit better and actually answer people with legitimate questions instead of saying, read the guide, read the guide, read the guide, read the guide, read the guide. If somebody comes to you guys and asks you a question, don't fucking brush them off and say, go read the guide. Hear what they have to say, listen to it, understand what it's saying, and then answer them. No, this is the thing. I want to be clear about something, Orange. People can run their website any way that they want. But when someone I'm not trying to be egotistical here. I know how to run a website. I've cleaned websites up for people because I know what does and doesn't belong there. And that is because it's like I've literally almost barred one of the mods that was on my site for doing something I very specifically said not to do. Because I apply the rules equally to everybody. So one of the main problems is you can't really call them sped mods. They're just people that just don't know any better. Some people are doing it because they're on a power-hungry ego trip. That I'll give you. But some of them they don't know any better because the internet has a backwards mentality on how things should be run. For example, most forums have no off-topic posting. So if that's the case, why are all these off-topic posts even in there? And what I used to do when I trained the mods on the site that I was helping run is I would say, you can have a reply for something, but if somebody says, Google it, that was barred from our website. If anybody said Google it, you were instantly suspended. Because you don't write Google it as a reply to something when you don't want to explain to somebody how to do the answer. You don't tell somebody to leave the website to go find information the website's supposed to be telling you. It's a redundant thing. And so what happens is the internet has gotten too comfortable with people. When somebody says, well, Google it, and somebody gets aggravated at them, instead of taking a look at the fact that the person shouldn't have said Google it in the first place, the person who said Google it is the one that caused the fucking problem. Instead, they actually look at the person and say, you should treat people with respect, which in turn causes an even bigger problem because the person that you just told that to is going to get even twice as pissed off. And then all of a sudden, before you know it, you got a shitstorm on your hands. They bar the person. And then later on, those people go out of their way to use that as ammunition against somebody on another website, which is another problem in itself. So that's the way the internet operates. It's unfortunate, but as long as the internet operates that way, in general, I should say people on the internet operate that way, there's going to be problems on forums. And what's really interesting is that the same people that have all these problems on forums complain the forums are a mess, but yet when you bring up to them why it's a mess, you get labeled as a troll. It's fucking unbelievable, dude. So that's why I remove comments from underneath my videos. People bitch that I'm removing comments. Well, you just don't like debates. No. It's because nobody's fucking listening to what I'm saying. I tell you don't write unrelated comments to the video, and then there's this fucking comment trying to explain why the comment should be there. No, that gets deleted. Then they get pissed off and they do it. And no, you were told don't fucking relay anything that's not related to the video, and eventually I have to shut the comment section down because all people are doing is coming over doing shit that they know is going to get deleted. And just so you know, what Sleepy Otaku said here, I believe that's your name. How old are you, seriously? Comments like that are said by what I call Steam users. Steam user will talk people in circles, change the subject matter 16 times, and if you go on my channel here, you'll find I actually have conversations with people in Steam that I've actually videoed and showed and took apart and showed exactly what they did. Pretty much a lot of people, what people did in here is they did pretty much what a Steam user does. And so I clarified that there's something called a Steam user. There's a difference between a Steam user and somebody who uses Steam. That's explained also. And so there comes a point in time where I just stop talking to people because there's no point. It's like beating your dead horse. It's like beating a dead horse. I mean, I'll troll with people for a while that want to troll. That's fine. Kills time. Everybody does that, you know. But eventually it just comes to the point where, you know, I say don't leave unrelated comments to the video. You're going to get deleted. And I have one idiot using one video to make comments about the other video. And case in point, I'm just not even replying to him anymore because all he keeps saying is I'm wrong. There's no structure to his argument. It's a troll comment. There's no structure. And so I'm not going to really address it anymore. So, but, you know, as far as back to what you said, you can't really call them sped mods. I understand why you're saying that. But even as it's weird, too, because people look at me, it's like, you just trash them. How can you say that? That's because I don't. The way they treated people has nothing to do with them being sped. They're just power hungry. So even as fucked up as that sounds, I just don't like putting things where they don't belong and using it like that. I try to keep everything separated, even if they fuck me over. It was like, yeah, whatever. Because again, I didn't say, oh, they fucked me over, poor me. I'm like, they fucked me over, great. Deal with it. I don't give a fuck. This is one of the main reasons I almost never make accounts to go on forums. It's because of how people act. It's bad enough people take my videos and post them on forums. Then the person who posts it gets accused of being me, which is fucking retarded in itself. So, it's a mess. And there's too much technical jargon and bullshit over there. It's like I had to explain to somebody 4 fucking times. That's why when I made the review, the follow-up video, I pointed out that the person's trying to rearrange what I said, despite I've already explained it to him, showed him where the timestamps were, and he kept fucking trying to tell me what I said because he wanted me to say it. So I'm just like, yeah, whatever. And so it's like, there just comes a point in time where I just stop talking to people. It's like, you can't be that fucking stupid. I've had people do it to me in streams where I just keep going on and on with them and on and on. And then I wind up making the entire stream talk about them. I says, I'll fucking talk to you about this till you blue in the face. And I don't know what they think I'm kidding or not, but I do. I wind up having... Dude, I was showing how bad the division was. And I had some jackass in here trying to fucking bring something up. He kept bringing something up over and over and over and over and over again. So I kept talking about it. And I says, hey, I'll fucking do this as long as you do it. And before you know it, I had a 4-hour fucking stream that was just talking about this guy. So I was like, yeah, whatever, you know. I didn't really care anyway because I wasn't fucking playing the game. The game's fucking broken anyway. But, that's basically that's basically the original thing I came on here for, and why I made this statement is there's nothing to debate. All I do is I post what people do for information. I don't make up anything. I don't make anything up and say, well, this is this and this and this. I read replies and I just relay how people's attitudes are, and I do it. It's not I'm making anything up. That's how people act. And it's like they can't fucking handle being pointed out. People on the internet have been so comfortable with fucking getting away with everything nobody's held any accountable for. It drives people out of their fucking mind when I do this. That is because I have nothing better to do some of the time. Somebody's like, why do you do this? What I talk about in all these videos is not going to change anything. It never does. People act like this isn't going to change anything. Of course it's not going to change anything. The only reason I put my videos out, and I don't tag my videos, I don't go on forums and announce my videos, I don't fucking announce when I'm doing a stream. People just find me. How they found me, I have no fucking clue. Yeah, and you know what? Because you guys kept saying that there's nothing wrong with the quick start guide. And so here you are again bringing up the quick start guide, and I'm talking about it again, and later on you'll say, you're still talking about the quick start guide. I stopped talking about the quick start guide for fucking 10 minutes until you just brought it up now. You're the one that restarted this. So, I mean, if you want to talk about the quick start guide, let's go. And I'm glad you believe that the quick start guide is simple. I'm glad you believe that. You have a right to think that. You have every right to have that know-how. If you believe and think that the quick start guide is simple, good for you. I've already answered that. You want to know the answer to that, go back and watch one of my other videos. I'm not going to explain that again. And another thing, too. I'm glad you believe the guide is not hard. I'm glad you think that. I'm glad you think that. I'm sorry you believe that, but oh well, I can't change your mind. I'm glad you think that. And we know you think that the guide is good, so why do you keep repeating it over and over again? All you've basically said for the past 20 times you said this is that you believe that the guide is good and it's simple. All right, great. And I'm glad you think that. I'm glad you think it's a fact. I never said you couldn't think that way. Nothing you say is going to change the condition it's in. So I don't understand why you keep saying it over and over again like it matters. It doesn't. I don't give a fuck what condition. I don't give a fuck if you think that the guide's perfect or not. Great. Good for you. And? All right, let me ask you a question. Before I answer that, and I will answer that, you need to answer me. Well, you need to know what you just said. Do you know how to read instructions, yes or no? Now, to my viewers that are not logged in watching this, just so you guys know, I have a bunch of people that are not actually logged in and watching this. So, to the viewers that are not logged in watching this, I'm going to decipher what his sentence, actually, what Sleepy just asked me. Because I don't think Sleepy realizes exactly what he asked me, because the term instruction in there is a very loose term that has multiple meanings according to the way the gamers want it to mean, instead of actually understanding what they really said. So, to you, those viewers, I will explain exactly what he just asked. When you ask somebody if they know how to read an instruction, this is exactly verbatim what you are asking. You are asking, did you read something that somebody put all steps easy to know and can be followed by anybody without missing anything from start to finish? Now, all steps, when you take that definition, means all parts of it exist, meaning you can't have anything omitted, and it has to be written outside of somebody's knowledge that's complex. So when you ask somebody, did they read an instruction, you're asking if they read or paid attention to something that has every single step from A to B, from A to Z listed in an easy to understand format. Now, the terminology easy to understand means it's not just certain common sense knowledge. It's something that's, so if I say the phrase, here is a dollar bill, everybody in existence knows what that means. There aren't some people who won't know what that means and some people who do. Everybody that understands English, or no matter what language you say that in, is going to understand exactly what you're talking about. So when you say, have you followed the instructions or read the instructions, or can you do them, you're actually saying, did you follow all of the steps that are listed with this that are supposed to be there according to make it an instruction, because they're easy to follow steps, which is stuff that everybody can understand. Now, the fact on what Sleepy just said is that despite what I just explained about what the sentence instructions actually means according to grammatical structure, now he's acting like that's not really important because we're using generic terms that he wants to use. And that's why when you answer somebody like this, they can take the terminology because it's not really clarified because they're using a generic, randomized, supposedly they're assuming common sense things instead of what the sentence actually says and how grammar says it mean what it means and with the way grammar says you're saying it, and they're taking that and they're going to twist that out of context. So they're going to it doesn't matter what you answer to that, they can take anything that they want and apply to it. But when you're actually asking a question, that is actually what you're saying when you use that term instruction. That the word instruction has been so misconstrued, it's unreal. Well, no, Orange, the thing here is that on now here's the interesting thing. Sleepy's just trolling, but I actually have a video on my channel that breaks down the grammatical sentence, and I actually opened up the Merriam-Webster's dictionary and the Merriam-Webster and the Oxford, and I literally took the sentence apart to show when you ask this question, this is verbatim what you're asking. But people use the term so loose that they think instructions is now somehow, instructions has evolved into, or according to gamers, has evolved into, well, go to the blue dot. And that's everything you need to know. You know what I mean? It's like, really? And so if something has a blue dot and it doesn't actually tell you go to the blue dot, that means you haven't provided the instructions. But gamers, because it's become so commonplace now, they'll say, well, it's blinking on the screen. So that led me into another video about when you have the term everybody understands, easy to know. If you put 100 people in front of a computer screen, and 50 of them are gamers, and 50 of them know nothing about games, and you put a flashing dot on that screen, only 50 people will click that dot, despite it not saying to click it, because what they will say is, well, it's flashing, that means to click it. No, it doesn't mean to click it. Gamers have now applied that, and it's become commonplace. But the fact of the matter is, unless the other 50 people also click it, which they're not going to because they're waiting for something that's an actual text message that says, press the flashing dot. The gamers think that message isn't needed because it's explained just because it's flashing. They actually believe, they've now gotten to the point where they believe a flashing dot on the screen literally means go to it and click it. That's gamer mentality. Now, that is a visual learning thing, so you can't say it doesn't mean that. But to say that's what it means for everybody is ridiculous. So, in order for the instruction to make sure that dot is clicked, all 100 people would have to click it. And the only way to get all 100 people to click it is to have the flashing dot on the screen and have an actual text message that says on the screen, click this dot. Gamers are missing the click this dot text and thinking it's common sense and you're going to know enough to do it. That's not how this works. That's an excuse gamers use because they've been lulled into doing that. But when you say instructions, gamers will say it's explained even without the text message, but the grammatical context says the text message is required to be there in order for you to call it an instruction. That's how English language works. So obviously people aren't going to go into that type of detail, keeping in mind. But when Sleepy asked me, you do know how to read instructions, yes or no, they're asking me if I've read the text. Click here, even though the text is not there, but they're saying it's explained. That's the unfortunate language gap that gamers have turned language into. It's an unfortunate gap. It's an unfortunate gap. Let me see if I can actually break that video out. All right, I found it. Okay. So, what I have here, that's the video I have that's called Correcting Uneducated Gamers. That's a complete breakdown of what gamers think they're saying compared to what they're actually saying. Made that video a long time ago because I forget, I made that video specifically for somebody that asked me to make it, and I just kept it on my channel. But that shows gamers are not asking what they think they're asking because they don't understand. They don't have the education level enough to understand when you put together certain phrases in the English language dictates to you exactly what you're saying. You can't, it's not that they can't say something different or they can't formulate something else in their head, but the English language doesn't allow them, the grammatical structure of the English language when they say something doesn't actually allow them to use what they're thinking to override what it really means. That's the thing here. Now, when I pull this out, or I pull this information out, or I bring this point up, the next thing gamers say, or people say is, wow, you went out of your way to look for that, or like it was a complete waste of time, as if the structure of the English language somehow is now completely irrelevant because I pointed out they said something incorrect, and what they're saying, or what they think they're saying, is not the same thing as what they're actually saying. So you wind up with the whole mentality of people, saying, "Oh, you're just dumb" or whatever. You're wrong. That's when I tell people, you're not telling me I'm wrong. You're basically saying that the English language is wrong and that you're right and you know better, despite everybody using it for thousands of years. You can't just come along and change the structure of it just because people think, well, you know what I meant. I freaking hate when people, I don't want to say I hate that, but I can't stand when gamers use that, well, you know what I meant, as a crutch statement just to be stupid or get around what they're saying. And that's the thing here. That's why I tell gamers they make no friggin' sense when they talk, and that's why gamers think that I'm not making any sense. It's because when they're talking, they've totally, it's like when they're in school now, kids are failing tests in writing because they're using text speech, which is all abbreviations, in their essays where they're not supposed to be using it, and then they can't figure out why the essay's wrong, and then they will actually argue with the teacher saying, well, I used this, you know what I meant, when that's totally irrelevant to the exercise. So it's ridiculous. Like school has gone downhill and the education level has gone downhill because the way things operate. I mean, they're now allowing, I'm horrible with math. I have this whole segment on something I found somewhere that somebody did that I completely agree with them about why math, something to do with, somebody wrote a topic up that said why math prevents itself from being done or something like that. And the person broke everything down, and if you actually take a look at it, he's 100% correct, and I agree with everything he said. So, it's like, I don't know, it's unfortunate that, so my point with that is that calculators have wrecked classes now. It basically allows people to take shortcuts where they wouldn't be able to do it. Me, personally, I'd be glad that a calculator is in there, so I would want them, because the base structure on math, the way kids are taught, is never used when they're doing math. It's really screwed up. The whole video I made explains the exact procedure on that and why. Now, people will say, oh, that's a conspiracy theorist. That has nothing to do with anything. Somebody came up with a very structured argument. It wasn't thrown together. They were literally giving examples, and the replies to this stuff were asinine. Nobody was looking at what the person was saying, and they're only saying, well, this works, this is how this is done, instead of looking what the person said. I mean, I went over that in the video, but the person literally broke down that the basics on mathematics prevent anybody from actually even doing the math the way they're doing it. It was unreal. I was like, wow. And then I started thinking, I'm like, come to think of it, that's why I'm having a problem with math. So the kid actually pointed out some things on why people are having a problem with math. He says, if you're having a problem with math, this is why. And so I was like, huh. Now, obviously, 1 + 1 is 2. You're not going to get around that. But that specific factor alone is a baseline that gets removed from a lot of problems later on. So when you remove it from the problem later on, what happens is the math says you can't do it without doing it this way, but people are removing it and doing that anyway, which doesn't make any sense, because that's either saying that puts in a problem, because the baseline is saying you can't do it that way, but if you're doing it that way, you're saying the baseline doesn't exist. So either way, it's wrong, and that's what the person said. So again, it's like, obviously 1 + 1 is 2. You're not going to get around that. There's just certain things. But the fact of the matter is, a lot of the rule, and he used, I forget what it was something to do with finding the area of something, because what he did was, he said that the exception to the rule people were doing, the basics of the mathematic formulas would never allow that rule to even happen. Somebody's like, well, that's why it's an exception. But if you take a look at the word exception, it can't be used there to get around that. So basically, it's really weird how it was set up, but if you actually look at it, it's very interesting to look at, because if you ever had a problem with math, or you know someone that has a problem with math, he actually hits the nail on the head on where the confusion is coming from. So I was like, wow, that's really messed up. So there's a fine line between rolling over and going with society, which is what you kind of have to do, because you'll never get anybody to change. As much as I agree with what they said, and as much as I understand what they were talking about, you can't just apply. You'll never change society's minds. There's no way you'll ever do it. So you kind of just have to roll over and go with the flow, even though it's wrong. Math as we know it is wrong, and that kid points at whoever did it. That kid, I keep saying kid, he or she. It's like, because what's weird is it's the type of structured argument I would bring up. I actually started saying I said this in the video. I'm like, that's not me. It was just weird. So I was like, huh. So I don't know. It's interesting to read. See if I can dig that out too. But like I said, if you look at the structure of it, it's really interesting to find out that what everybody's doing is actually not correct. He did something with finding the area where there's a base rule in mathematics where if I have the number 3, I can make that number 3 be represented by anything I want, because it's still going to be 3. So what he did was, in the area, because it's a multiplication problem, he changed the area numbers into dollar bills. And I was like, because you can't manipulate that. He said he used that on purpose to say 3 is represented by 3 $1 bills on top. And I think it was like 2 and 3 or something like that, because when you find the area, you multiply the sides, because that's really how it works. But in reality, the base formulas of math will not allow you to even do it that way. It won't be 6. And then there's a whole different situation where he went into, it got a lot more complex. It kind of went over my head. But he was saying that, like, if it's going to be a multiplication problem, you have to do multiplication all around after you fix part. It's weird. So what he basically did was he proved that it's not 6 by changing the figures into dollar bills. And he also pointed out that anybody trying to say that you can't use dollar bills there is telling you that you can't use those things to represent those numbers just because it's in a different situation. But yet the baseline of math says you can use 3 to represent 3. You can use anything to represent 3 because it's still 3. But the reason he did it with money is because if you have two $1 bills and 3 $1 bills, that'll never equal 6. It's still 5. So multiplying that, it's 5, because you can't just magically make another number appear. It's really weird the way he did it. I was like, that's an interesting concept. But that would be like saying if you have 4 minus 8, 8 minus 4. I saw this video and I thought this was really interesting too. It was a special ed puppet, but I was just like, huh. Now, math says if you have subtract 4, you're minusing 4. So what happens here is if you put a minus 4 without any other numbers, that's negative 4, which means it's not there. It's missing 4. So if you put that equation underneath an 8, and then you go 4 minus 8 or 8 minus 4, the answer is actually 8 because it's in that particular context. Yes, when you remove 4 out of 8, it's going to have 4 left over. But the way they actually said it was, since you have negative 4, that's missing 4. The negative and the minus means to remove the 4 itself. So if you have minus 4 and you have 8 minus 4, and then you remove the 4 because the negative 4 says to remove it, the answer, you still have 8. It's not 4, it's 8. I was like, that's a really screwed up way to look at that, but it's a base fact because just because somebody tells you that's not there, then that means you can't go around telling them when you have minus 4 to subtract 4, but when they do, you say, no, it doesn't work like that because you're not subtracting 4. You're subtracting 4 from the other number, which is kind of screwed up because that kind of defeats the purpose of, well, what the hell's minus 4 then? It's really weird when you look at it like that, but that's why people have a problem with math in general. And that thread, that topic or thread or whatever you want to call it, had a lot of interesting reading, and it was very interesting because it educated me on a lot of things that I was like, why do I have a problem with math? And then I was looking at it and I'm like, holy gosh, no wonder I had a problem with math. And I just identified with it automatically. I was like, huh. So, and it's funny trying to watch the professors in math give you a baseline, and then when you challenge that baseline, they're like, oh, that doesn't matter. As if the baseline that they use, then they shouldn't be teaching the baseline. It's one of these things that go into a circle. One can't be used without the other, but one is being used without the other. But without using the baseline, both sides cancel each other out because you can't have one without the other. And one says the way it has to be done, and the way people are doing it goes against the way it says it has to be done. It's really weird. That's kind of like the concept of it. But anyway, I beat a dead horse into that. But anyway, I'm actually going to exit out now, and I'll ending this because there's really nothing for me to talk about. So it's basically the beginning of this is like it. And I'm probably actually going to delete this stream. I'm not even going to have it in here. But I'm going to make another one. I'm just not going to allow... I'm just making a topic in it. I'm just going to basically make an end statement for this. I'm going to redo this. So, the thing here is that a lot of people try to debate my what I put up. It's like if I put up a car and showed it had a flat tire, people in here would be basically saying, well, you're showing a car. You want help with that. And I says, no, I showed a flat tire. And then they'll argue with me about why I showed it. And then they'll start saying, you're poor because you can't afford tires. My autistic nephew knows how to change a tire. Well, there's videos that show it and nobody's asking for it. You know what I mean? It's weird. So, a lot of people don't like me. They don't like me because I say it how it is, and I don't let people bully me into submission, which is basically what the whole point of this topic was in the first place. Because the people on the RPCS3 forum, they acted surprised when I put up a video on how their attitude was. Now, here's the thing. Despite what everybody said to me in here, I never went back over there. I could have made another topic. I could have made another account from using Tor or changing my IP address and went back in there and started shit, but I didn't. They threw me out. I even said, you're not going to get help. Going back in there is pointless. There's no reason to. And I left it alone, and I said, here's how they were acting. All of a sudden, that topic got flooded with people from there that it's like they got pissed off at me for saying it and basically told me not to talk about it. I'm like, you guys behave this way, and it got to the point I had to shut down the freaking comment section because the whole thing that I said at the beginning of this was the RPCS3 people or the forum lost the privilege to say anything or the rights, or you have no right. I'm not even allowing them to have an opinion about me. They have nothing to say to me at all here where I can control it. They want to have a bash fest about me on their forum, whatever. That's fine. Go ahead. But I didn't invite them here. They came here acting like I went in that forum and started for no reason at all, which is the typical mentality of the internet. I'm not saying poor me because I get thrown out, whatever. But if you take a look at some of the stuff I said in the video, you'll find that it's very questionable how they did. And I didn't even get mad at it. I just thought it was sad, because it's like they're like, well, you're going on and on and on and on. I made a video explaining to people how they acted after they threw me out. Then they came over here and started on me, and I was like, and now you're basically telling me I'm the one that's a child? All I do is I relay information. Most of my videos for anything out there, like especially if you really want to get a real understanding of why people hate me, go watch one of my Mass Effect videos. Go watch the Mass Effect 2 video. Actually, I had to remake that because it was on another. I had two of my channels banned because they got terminated because I was posting one got terminated by Valve because I was posting like videos on what Valve was doing is illegal. I was actually exposing a lot of stuff that they were doing, and they didn't like it, so they kept striking my channel, and I knew it was going to get banned anyway. So I had to remake a lot of the videos and upload them. But I got, one video, for example, my Mass Effect 3 video. I had somebody that asked me to make it, and as soon as I made it, they got pissed off at me and friggin' started swearing at me. I'm like, you asked me to make the video, because he wanted to understand exactly where I was coming from. And then I even said in the video, when I made this video, and I'm talking to the viewer, I'm actually talking to the person that, it's like I'm talking to the person that made the video, so, when I'm narrating it, I'm talking to them, you know what I mean? But you, the viewer, can understand it. So what wound up happening was, they wanted to understand how, how my videos are put together. So I says, even when I'm making this video, you're not going to be able to wrap your head around what's going on because you already have the information. And once you have that information, you can't undo it. So one of the things I don't let people do is talk me in circles. And I don't let them talk me in circles also by utilizing after the fact information to a situation where they didn't have that information to begin with. The only reason a lot of people disagree with me and say, well, why didn't you try this? Why didn't you try that? It's because they already know enough to do it somehow, and then they're trying to say, well, why didn't you do that? As if there would be no way for them to say that because that information doesn't exist at the point in time I'm talking about it. It only exists after you do it, so they can't undo. They have a problem with trying to understand that I don't allow that type of information to put into a situation where it would never be able to be used. So they take that as like, you can't handle this, you're just dumb, which has absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with what I'm talking about. So the point here is that one of the main things I do with my videos is that all I do is relay information. I don't even, there's very few things that I will actually design and come up with, like I made up. I don't want to say made it up as it's false, meaning I did it on my own. Most of the stuff is me opening up games and saying this screen's not explained, it's missing instructions, things like that. And if you take a look at the comparisons I make to the videos, it's not bashing the game, because I do it with games I like. I'm not biased. I just point out that this is one of the main reasons I had a problem with RPCS3. It's because I'm sick and tired of lazy development. That's my pet peeve. I have a pet peeve of when people put something up and never explain how to use it and then turn the damn thing into schoolwork. I can't stand that. So I will always go into a place with an open mind, but in the back of my mind, I know it's going to be like that. And sure enough, when you have programs like the RPCS3 and other emulators, or even programs for let's see, what's the what the fuck is the name of that friggin' not Joy to Key, it's something else, Xpatter. So Xpatter was one of the I went in there, you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. So I don't know. That's about it. Hey, James, how's it going? Unfortunately, I'm ending this stream now because this wasn't even supposed to be a stream. It was just basically a final statement to them because they kept coming over on here threatening me, doing stupid shit, trolling me, and I was just like, you don't get to come over here and say something to me after you threw me off of the forum. That's not happening. So they were trying to bully me into submission, into caving, so they basically treated people like shit. I pointed it out, and then they acted really surprised when I made a video and then came over here basically telling, they were acting like mafia hitmen, trying to intimidate me from not talking about it. It's like, no, fuck off. Piss off, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. So they got all aggravated with me and talking about stuff, and they're like, why are you deleting comments? I'm like, because I'm not going to sit here. You guys don't get to say anything to me after that. You guys, it's like I said, the thing with me is that I'm not like people you can just bully and submit. I just don't roll over for that. I don't get bullied into submission. You aggravate me, I'm just going to become more aggravating. You fuck with me, I'm just going to become more aggravating. I said I said you can come down here and beat my ass. I'm still going to make videos about it. It's because I don't cave. And if more people did that on the internet, they just don't like it. I've caught them in lies. I've already proven that, so it's like they're like, you're wrong. It's just the same unstructured arguments. You're wrong. I'm like, okay, and I label off 3 things. And like, what's wrong with it? So I label off 3 things, and they're like, oh, that's not true. No, actually, they weren't. No, here's the thing, James. I don't know if you were in here, but let me recap something real quick. They said the guide was complete, and they're basically trying to poke fun at me is what they came down to. I pointed out 3 things that aren't even listed in the guide. And without those 3 things, something in the guide won't work. So they're missing those 3 pieces of information, at least on that end, along with a bunch of other things. But those are 3 precise things that I explained are not even in the guide that they said was completed. Well, if the guide's missing those 3 things for that particular section, and something that is in the section of the guide uses those 3 things, then the guide's not complete. So you can't trying to say I'm a liar for saying that the guide, or trying to say I'm a liar and that the guide's complete in itself is a lie. That's not a difference of opinion. No, James, the information isn't even there. There are 3 things. There are 3 things for something in that guide that is needed to know in order to use something in the guide that is not written in the guide. It's not even there. But it belongs with part of something that's in the guide, because the 3 things that are missing are a requirement to get what's written in the guide to work. It's not about, this has nothing to do with misreading it, and this isn't even a point of view. This is point blank, the guide is not complete. That's not a misunderstanding. That's not even complete. And they're basically saying, oh, it's completed. Some of them are trolling, but if the guide is missing 3 things that are needed in order to run something that's in the guide's not complete. That's not a misinterpretation. That's a fact. So it's not a different viewpoint. It's not there. That would be like, as I said, if you go look at like some of the videos I say about this screen is not explained, I open up the game and I show. It's like, all right, well, to make a long story short, I'll sum it up. In the guide, all right, now when you're launching a game in the emulator, games come in 2 formats. A disk image, 3 formats. A disk image, a ripped disk image, and then a PKG file, which is a packed up disk image. Now, if you get a PKG file, which is a package file, there's something in the emulator that allows you to unpack it. However, you can also use an extractor that I have separately to extract that, because the PKG file is the game. It's just labeled in a different format. So the emulator itself has an unpacker, but you can get a separate one just to get the game loose files. The problem with that format is that the game in that condition won't launch. It requires a very specific file to launch. The fact is, in the guide, nowhere does it say that file, number 1, is even needed. Number 2, it doesn't say how to actually create the file. And the third thing is it doesn't tell you which format that file is for. Those 3 things are missing from the guide that pertain to that file, which is required to launch the game in the format of PKG. They said that information's in the guide. It's not. Because, and what happened is, they started saying, well, you can use an alternate route. I says, this has nothing to do with an alternate route. This has to do with you guys saying the guide is complete. I pointed out 3 things that are not in the guide and why they're needed in the guide to launch this thing. And you guys are saying that's not true because the guide's complete. I said, well, if the guide's complete, where are those 3 pieces of information? That's not a misreading, James, and that's not a difference of opinion. That's the guide. They're point blank saying something that's not true. The guide is not complete because it's missing those 3 key things for that particular file with a section of the game that's, explained in the guide. So the guide lists the format that file is used for, but it never actually says that file is needed for that format. I got that information outside the guide, by the way. That's how I know. And so, if you don't know that file is needed, first of all, because it doesn't say it's even needed, it only says if you have it, what to do with it. But it never specifies what it goes to, how to create it, or what format it's needed in. It's missing. That information does not exist. So, if somebody has this game in the particular format, the game will never launch, and they won't know why. So, as I said, they said the people obviously are trolling over here, but they said the guide's complete. I said, no, it's not. They said, well, what's not complete about it? And I listed off those 3 things, and I pointed it out. And they says, oh, the guide says that. The guide doesn't say it, James. It's missing. So then they're like, oh, you're wrong. Just the usual unstructured arguments is what they're doing. So, I mean, some of them were trolling, obviously. I said, hey, you're going to troll, that's fine. You full well know what I'm saying is right. There's no arguing with them. So, like I said, there's a difference between misunderstanding something and misreading it, or having a difference of opinion and simply outright lying or saying something that's not true, which can be proven simply by going over there and looking. I mean, you can... Why would you even try to debate, why would you even try to debate it, what you're wrong on, just when you can... or something they can just simply go over and look. Some people are just ridiculous. Like, it's asinine. So that's just one of other examples that are used. But... So, like I said, the other point here is that when I brought those 3 things up, they automatically knew they were caught in a lie, or I don't want to say lie, but they already knew. They realized that what I said is correct. So instead of acknowledging that, they said, well, why are you even messing with this? Just try this, as if that changes. If that changes anything. So what's interesting is once they found out they were wrong, they tried scrambling, they tried deflection tactics to not focus on the fact that they were wrong. And because they spent like 10 minutes telling me I was wrong, it's complete. And then I just crippled everybody's arguments for 10 minutes by one simple statement. And I backed it up with proof, and then they realized I was right on that, and they couldn't handle that. So, and then they just started up with some other shit about, well, why don't you try this? So... The thing here, James, is I had to shut the comment section down on these because these videos about the RPCS3 has nothing to do with asking for help. It's nothing more than pointing out how retarded these people were acting, the way they treat people, and what to expect if you go on the forum, and some structure of a couple things on there that's just ridiculous. They turn that into, well, I'm here to help now. No, the whole issue isn't about getting help. I have nothing to say to them, nothing to say to that. I don't care about it anymore, and they have nothing to say to me at all here. because they lost that privilege of me having to do anything with that, or read anything, or talk to anybody, or have them say something when they threw me off of there. They threw me off of there, so now they have no business saying anything to me, because if they wanted to say something to me, they should have done it over there and not thrown me off. But since they wanted to throw me off, that means what they say to me is irrelevant. They have no business. I'm not even going to allow them to post an opinion on here. Unless they give me a public apology, I will never let them post anything on here, because this isn't a discussion. This is not a debate. They actually came over here and started posting subtle threats. And then when they were in here, like, that's a joke. But, it's ridiculous. So they don't even have their opinion. They have no right even placing I'm not even going to allow them to have to place their opinion over here. It's not. I've totally barred them from saying anything on I've totally barred them from saying anything on here, because this is a video that's showing their attitude. They made their bed, now they have to lie in it. And they didn't like that. So what they did was they started up with all the comments in here, acting like I don't have any right to say anything. After they tried bullying me into submission to try to keep me quiet. They were literally acting like a mafia hitman, trying to intimidate somebody as a witness. You're trying to intimidate a witness so they don't call them in court. That's literally what they were trying to do. And I'm like, fuck off, you're not going to do it. So they don't get to come over here and say anything like that to me, because they lost that right and that privilege when they threw me off of the forum. So I'm not letting them do anything, because if they wanted to say something to me, they never should have thrown me off of the forum. But if you're going to throw me off of a forum, you don't get to come over here and start talking about me. You want to talk about me? Hey, have a bash fest on your own channel. I don't care. Do whatever you want to do. They can do whatever they want. They're not going to do it here where I can control it. That's for sure. They don't throw me off and then get to come over here and start talking about me. No. That's not happening. So anyway, I'm going to end this stream. I'm actually going to delete this. I'm going to delete this stream and then just make this video real quick and then upload it again, because this video was really only supposed to be about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes of me telling them to go fuck themselves, that I'm not going to allow them to do this on the channel. And instead of expending all of this energy and time over here acting like idiots, why didn't they just go fix their site and spend all their constructive, more constructive time over there? Because after they threw me out, you didn't see me make an account, go back over there. They threw me off. I said, hey, this is what they did. And then I left it alone. They decided to make comments off of it as if I didn't have any right to say anything because of the way they were. It's like I exposed the way they were cheating, and they didn't like it. They expected me to be like somebody else on the internet, just roll over and accept it, or get bullied so I wouldn't say anything. It was like, what do you? I said, they made the mistake of screwing with me. Not that that's a big deal, not like, whatever. I says, you're just pushing the wrong person. I said, it's an argument you're not going to win with me. The more you fucking post on me, I said, you basically are acting like retards, and now deal with it. You don't get to act like a retard and then, tell somebody, well, you can't say anything about it. And if you do, you threaten them. It's like, come on, dude, shut up. Obviously, the threats and whatever, but it's like, you don't come over here and post subtle threats like that after you threw me off of the forum and then basically try to say you have a right to say something after you. No, not happening. No, you're right, it is. I'm just not going to allow it where I can control it. Because this is, they're going to have to deal with me talking about them, and they can't say it. They're not allowed to say anything back to me about this. Because if they did, they lost that when they banned me from the forum or threw me off of there and threw me out of their Discord. They lost all rights to say anything to me here after throwing me out. So that's really all there is to it. So anyway, I'm going to end this stream now. For those of you watching, Steel Gamer signing off. Have a good day or night wherever you are.